Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Late Winner Show. We're here midweek to talk about football. But because there was a big game happening today, Champions League football was back. Real Madrid versus PSG. I think we previewed it on our channel and we were very hyped up about it. I thought it was going to be an exciting game. And I think Uday, you and me both thought that Real Madrid were going to be the eventual winners of this, at least of this particular match.
Yeah,
Obviously did not happen. I think Real Madrid were definitely here to take out a little draw.
yeah.
Nothing else. I think they forgot that the away goal rule is no longer here. So I don't know. I don't know what was happening over there. But the other game that happened was Sporting Lisbon versus City. I definitely expected that Sporting would give some challenge to City, but obviously it didn't happen. I think they City are eventual now winners. I think it's the tie is
My
practically over.
prediction was 4-0 for City and Sporting, but
Yeah.
it turned out to be
So
5-0, I think. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I guess that the tie is practically over. I don't think like any of the main players are going to play in the second leg. I don't really see Sporting Lisbon scoring 5 goals at
Yeah.
the Etihad, in 3 weeks' time. But yeah, let's do some match reactions. Before we do that, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Late Winner Show. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget that we are going to be back live in the next couple of hours for our FPL show as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's definitely begin with our marquee match of the week. PSG versus Madrid. They lost 1-0 thanks to an Mbappe injury time goal, and what a goal that was. They obviously missed a penalty through Messi midway through the game. But I think, like, if you look at the result, I think we're not surprised about it because PSG definitely dominated the game much better. They had, I think, 21 shots on goal, 8 were on target. You compare to, I think, Madrid. I think they had like what three shots
Three,
on
four.
target or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Uh, I think they. I mean, I would say, looking at the performance, they were decent enough. But again, as I said earlier in the podcast, yeah, man, I think they were here to take out a draw and
Yeah.
go back home and take out that 2-0, 3-0 victory, whatever that may be. But now the tie has changed. Definitely, Real Madrid need to go in and attack because they really definitely need to score a goal now. I can definitely see this finishing up in like a 2-1 or something, and maybe going into an extra time. We don't know what happens in extra time. But first thoughts, like, what was your match reaction, and how did you feel about the game?
Well, first of all, I'd like to comment on the preview that we gave. I think I was out of sorts when I commented 3-1 win to Real Madrid because I knew somewhere PSG might win this.
Yeah,
Um, and before the lineups, I was pretty sure looking at how Real Madrid had lined up. The first thing I noticed was Real Madrid has a lot of experience, but they don't have the pace in the midfield. Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, they're not pacey anymore, right? They can't make those runs like 𝗵𝗏𝗕𝗓,
yeah,
𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗏, and 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏 can. So the differential throughout the match, throughout the 90 minutes was their midline was more quicker, more mobility was there in the midfield. Their build-ups were more quicker, and they could easily cross over the second and third lines of defense. And you might argue that Real Madrid had a better center, they had a good defensive performance, but I don't agree there, to be honest, because they did retrieve many chances, and PSG could have scored easily, two,
yeah.
three goals more. But yeah, I mean, they won it 1-0, and it is a fair result, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I think Thibaut Courtois is was the savior for Madrid. If you look at it, I think he made some really good spectacular saves from Mbappe itself. Last one he couldn't save that; it went into the goal. But that makes up for an exciting tie in 3 weeks time at the Spanish capital, because I didn't really, if this would have gone as a 0-0, I feel like the game would have been very similar what you would have seen in Madrid. But now obviously
Yeah.
you'll see a more attacking side in 3 weeks time. And I guess, yeah, even Benzema, if you look at it, I think he definitely wasn't fit. You could see that he didn't look the Benzema that, a couple of months ago. And Mbappe, what about Mbappe? I think he had a terrific game.
So
Annihilating probably most of the Real Madrid defense. They try to make sure that he doesn't go past them. Try to make sure that it didn't happen. But he's so quick. He's so quick at his feet as well. He's so agile. Definitely takes that one extra step, and he gets the freedom to score. Sorry, gets the freedom to shoot. and that's what he was doing. I think even in the start of the second half, I think when 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗏 made that spectacular save,
Yeah, I
he
think
he did those things. But what about now? What about this? The eventualism, so the eventual move that will happen, in next 4 months, I would say. And do you think that it would happen? Because I mean, Madrid is looking, but we all know, like, Madrid was very vocal about it. Madrid and PSG both are very vocal about it. Even Mbappe is very vocal about it, that he wants to go to Madrid. If they
yeah.
win the Champions League, do you really think that he might go to Madrid?
Uh, I think if they win the Champions League, then he might hit a conundrum in terms of thinking that, oh, I was ordered to play with a very wide width to the pitch. I mean, we saw it in the game itself that he was playing really wide, and then he loved running inwards towards the final third, right? And he made 𝗕𝗏𝗯 look like an amateur fullback. And 𝗕𝗏𝗯 is an experienced veteran of the game, and it was sad how he was crossed over 6-7 times in the first half itself. Having that said, I think Real Madrid would want him into their club very desperately because he's the only sole scorer of the game, and he's a proven goal scorer throughout the European leagues. So I think, yeah, they would definitely want him. And Ancelotti, but there's a thing. If you see, he also likes playing possession-based football. I know PSG are into a different regime of hitting on a transition, hitting on a counter, and they like with Neymar trying to break into those transitions and he tries to increase the frequency of the attack. I know this as well that he might favor counter-attacking football as well, but it depends on the manager entirely. What sort of a rapport does the manager have with Mbappe and all these players? Because we should even highlight this that when Hazard went from Chelsea to Real Madrid, he wasn't decorated. He was very decorated, right? And now, if you look, he's not animated at all. He is nowhere near any caliber of a superstar, right? Look at Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior. They are the ones who are starting over Hazard, and so it's maybe Mbappe might make a stupid mistake of going there, and we might just see another massacre in terms of somewhat like Hazard, what happened to them. So I think this is a very crucial decision, and if he goes there, I hope it works out well for him because that club
Hmm.
is very, very hard on their players. Benzema is going to act like a shrewd bully. I think it is very difficult to survive in the dressing room of Real Madrid, and you know it. You know how
Yeah,
Gareth Bale survived, how Michael Owen, how David Beckham survived. It was so difficult for these superstars
yeah.
to operate as Englishmen, in the club. So, as a French footballer, I think transition should be easier. But I am still skeptical about the move. I would prefer him playing in the Premier League. Maybe he's very young, he's very agile, and he does suit our system in the Premier League because he's physical, strong, pacey. So I hope he realizes the mistake that he's making and he doesn't get greedy because of the money that he's being offered. And in turn, he's offered a Premier League club. What do you think?
For Mbappe, I think he will. I think he will eventually make the move. I don't really think it depends on whether he wins the Champions League with PSG or doesn't win the Champions League with PSG. I think his heart is set out that he will.
Yeah,
I think obviously because of the game, because of this particular game, they're not, like, nobody is talking about it because everybody wants to just focus about this and not talk about, like, PSG. Oh, sorry, Mbappe moving to Madrid. But I think there's a clear sign that he moves after the summer. I do want to talk a little bit more about Madrid. We did say that, I think, like, Madrid were decent enough in defense because they were able to, I mean, I wouldn't say like everyone was good. Ferland Mendy wasn't good. 𝗕𝗏𝗯 was like shit. To be very honest, I think he was shit. Even if you look at the last goal the goal that he conceded, it was because of him. That Mbappe was actually that Mbappe actually went through him and actually scored that goal. Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro. They're all very slow, but but their passing vision is still there. They can create a lot of chances, but basically nothing was working for Madrid today. I think, again, as I said, I keep repeating myself, but they were here to take out a draw. They almost got it, but didn't get it. So Yeah, I mean, overall, I am very disappointed with the Madrid performance because I was hoping for really attacking match from both the sides, which we got from PSG, but didn't get that enough from Madrid. Um, and then what do you think about Pochettino? I don't really think that he really did anything to change the game, right? In terms of substitutions or anything like that. I think it was all the same throughout. When we were seeing him, when we were seeing his managerial capability, and there are rumors that he might move to Man United and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win if he doesn't win the Champions League this season, what credibility does he have that he is a good manager? I mean, he has the best players, he has money, which he always complained about, in Tottenham Hotspur because he didn't get the money, but he still was able to get out the best of whatever players that he has. What do you think about, like, what is your opinion about Pochettino?
Look, Pochettino as a manager is already proven, to be honest, because we have seen the growth of players like 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗕, who used to play for MK Dons, and as soon as he entered Tottenham, he started playing really well under Pochettino. You've seen how Harry Kane and Heung-min Son have also, grown under Pochettino. Regardless, I still feel, yeah, like Mourinho dipped later into his career. I think Pochettino needs to pull his socks up because he did not win league either last season. It is kind of horrendous because the PSG are used to winning the French League Cup, and they couldn't win the league title, and that's kind of sad. But yeah, I think if he wants to manage a big club like Manchester United, he needs to be maybe winning the Champions League or getting into the finals at least. Um, but there's one more thing, man. I think I would agree with you when you commented on how Real Madrid wanted to defend and wanted to take out maybe a draw or maybe a goal or two, because they did hit on a counter. They tried hitting on a counter.
Hmm.
They couldn't link up
Hmm.
well. Um, the problem what I found about Real Madrid was that Cruz and Modric were defending too deep, and which is why they were able to defend also in major phases. They were able to defend also, but when they were trying to bounce off a counter, again they didn't have enough ammunition in the middle to help their wingers and forwards progress ahead, which is why Benzema was clueless. Benzema
Yeah.
was mostly in the wide spaces in the first half, and then he came in the center. It was difficult for him to make a mark amongst Kimpembe and Martinez. Having that said, I think Pochettino did not use his substitutes as well because he knew his game plan was working well, and the disappointment that I think everyone had when Messi couldn't finish that penalty was again something on another level. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, I think we have seen Messi doing that recurringly. This is the fifth time in the Champions League that he's missed a penalty, and he's equaled Thierry Henry's record. So I think, yeah, this is something which we should be looking into as well. But what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I lost you. Sorry.
Yeah, I asked you what are your thoughts.
Thoughts on what?
Yeah, I mean, I just commented on everything you asked me to, like the Real Madrid fiasco, the substitutions that Pochettino didn't want to go in with, and he went in with I think he got 𝗕𝗲𝗓𝗕𝗏 towards the end. He took out Diallo, he got Guy, he took out Di Maria as well. He got in a couple of other players, but
Hmm.
the thing with and Neymar also came in the second half, right? Neymar did not really get an opportunity to play in the game because he
Yeah,
wasn't fully.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, but I think with Real Madrid, to be honest, I would have preferred Valverde playing in the first half and Modric coming in the second half, because when Modric is fit and has a lot of energy within him, he plays magically. And I think Real Madrid should have known that they needed a young gun in the center of the midfield. They could have taken that risk in the first half itself because we needed to see them scoring. And I hope the second leg gets more interesting, man, because having seen how Real Madrid was struggling, and we have seen that happening in previous stages of the Champions League as well, where Real Madrid lost to the likes of Mönchengladbach, Shakhtar FC, and all these teams. I mean, it was kind of shocking to see that happening, but that's how football is. And yeah, I'm looking forward to discussing more with you.
yeah. Definitely. I mean, I would really like to see Madrid more attacking, like as they're playing. I think in the last couple of months, even not last couple of last month or so, they've definitely dried up in front of goal. Even if you look at the last two recent games in La Liga, I think they defeated Elche 1-0 in 89th minute, where Asensio scored that goal, and then they had a 0-0 draw against Villarreal as well, who are a really good defensive team, and when Unai Emery, how he sets them up. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm very on. As I said, like, yeah, I think I was very disappointed with the Madrid performance today. I think they could have easily troubled PSG's defense, because, to be honest, like, PSG's defense also, I'm not a really good fan of. I'm not a really
Yeah.
big fan of PSG's defense as well. I think they could easily trouble, but they need to be more attacking. And I think when they are more attacking, when the midfield controls the game, is when you see the best out of Real Madrid, because that's where the entire play comes from. Modric, Casemiro, and Cruz, their passing ability. You look at Casemiro, who's a good defensive midfielder as well. He protects the ball, he protects the defenders as well. So yeah, I think, for to be honest, Carvalho does. I don't really see Carvalho playing the next game. I think Vasquez is a much better defender. I think he might be able to, tackle Mbappe much better compared to Carvalho, because I think he really had a
Yeah.
torrid game today, and we'll see. I think Ferland Mendy definitely still starts, because he still has the pace. But I think Carvajal is more good attacking wise, but I think they definitely need, in the second half, in the second leg, they need definitely some good defensive performances to stop the likes of Neymar, who is probably going to be back in the second leg. So Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi. But yeah, let's I think it was a good talk about, good analysis on the Madrid game. Let's talk about the Lisbon versus City game. I think we, as I said, we all predicted that we were going to be seeing a more competitive performance from Sporting Lisbon. But if you look at it, if you look at the game, I think City were very clinical, and that's why you
Very.
saw City scoring 4 goals. Like, even Bernardo Silva said it after the game, that they didn't deserve to be 4-0 up at halftime, because it was just the chances that they got, they basically finished it in the back of the net. And
True.
from what we've seen from what we've seen in City, in the I would say in the past 2 months, they've been really good clinical in front of goal, which we've
Yeah.
always been crying out, because they don't really have a striker. I think that debate should be put to bed now. I think that's all gone.
Yeah.
They're definitely the one of the favorites to now win the Champions League. I think they're the favorites behind PSG to win the Champions League, because I don't really see Bayern or Liverpool right now, who are the third and fourth favorites for me to win the Champions League, and see, like, if they can actually trouble them. But I think City were very professional in the second half. They got a goal. They got a goal from Sterling as well. Just 10-13 minutes after the second half started. But they controlled the game beautifully. For the remainder of the game, you could see, I think, all three shots that came from Sporting Lisbon were in the first half. There was basically nothing that happened in the second half from them. So it's a really good defensive performance as well. If you see, John Stones was playing at the right back as well. So because I think Kyle Walker was suspended for this game. So man, I don't really have anything to talk about City, because they were just really good.
I think Mahrez is supremely underrated, and we have seen that happening in the past Champions League of campaigns as well. Mahrez was amazing in this match. Bernardo Silva, as usual, was showing great stride in his work ethic and the way he was distributing the ball. Foden again, what a goal! I mean, but I would partially blame the goalkeeper and the defenders, because they were too. I felt they weren't on top of their game. That's the kind of mistakes that they were making. I think we'd see that happening in League One or League Division Two football. And yeah, they couldn't live up to the promise that they showed up in the round of 16 with. Maybe better teams deserve to play instead of Sporting Lisbon, in my opinion. Um, which is why I would actually agree with the Champions League getting into a two group tiered, where we have around 10 teams in one group and 10 teams in the other, and five are progressing from that, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
16 in one, 16 in the other, right? I think that gives a fair opportunity, like for teams like Dortmund. Barcelona as well might have progressed if they would have faced weaker opponents. But yeah, I think yeah, that's what it is, and which is why I commented on your show the other night that I'm looking forward to watching the quarterfinals, because that is where the real competition will come up. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you're right in some way, but I just feel like, there are the thing is that I think there are some nights where everything is just clicking, which was one of those nights for City. it might have been one of the, like, again, like they scored what, 2 goals in the first 17 minutes, right? That obviously disrupts the manager's mentality and the team's mentality as well. Like, they had planned something, they had worked through in the training ground and what they need to do to stop City. When
Yeah,
that early goal comes in, everything goes out for a toss, right? You can't really do anything about it, like, until just now. Just think about how can you get back into the game. But when you're thinking about it, you concede the second goal, you concede the third goal, you concede the fourth goal, and then you're like, oh, I'm already out of the game, right? So obviously City, as I said, like, City were very professional. City didn't really try to attack too much in the second half because they really knew, like, it was basically over. And I think Pep already, like, substituted most of his, most of his players, which makes sense.
yeah,
Now, I just want to, I'm not saying that, Sporting Lisbon is such a bad, is a really bad team.
yeah,
To be losing 5-0 City, I think they could have easily given them, good run for the money in the first leg.
yeah,
Let's see. And we never said that, Sporting Lisbon were going to win the leg or something. They might have, but it would have taken some, monumental task over 2 legs to actually win against the City side, who are such high on confidence right now. And there again, we talked about it in the previous one. Like, City, when City goes into that running stream of, sorry, yeah, the running stream, uh, sorry, the winning stream, it's really difficult for them, to stop. That's
yeah,
what I've always seen. I think it helped them during the pandemic, that sorry, not pandemic, but during the COVID times, when Premier League games were postponed for majority of the teams, apart from City. They kept playing week in, week out, and they never got that, disruption of playing football. It wasn't like they were coming back into the game, coming back into the Premier League and playing a match after like 20-21 days, which was for some teams, because their matches kept getting postponed. So
yeah,
you can say that City were lucky in that case, and they've not really stopped playing since the start of the season, because they've basically been playing until the winter break that happened. But nothing to take away from what we saw today. I think clinical performance, really good performance, really good professional performance. Sporting Lisbon, what I would just say, I think they are a good team. Just express yourselves more in the second leg and try to take out a victory, maybe a 2-1 or 3-1 victory from there, and see what happens. Yeah,
sure.
I don't really see I don't really see no Sporting Lisbon scoring 5 goals. Definitely, even, like, with the likes of, I mean, the second string squad that City has, even, like, you don't see Sporting Lisbon actually beating them. But yeah, like, if
Yeah,
Sporting Lisbon does have a good start, because now that I'm thinking, like, from my perspective, I'm just thinking, like, Sporting Lisbon are out of the game. Just go and
yeah,
express yourselves, and see what happens in the second leg.
yeah.
I do want to talk about Grealish. I think and I guess, like, he was signed for this record 100 million pound, fee. He's definitely not impressed in a City shirt right now.
What are you
He's
talking about? Jack Grealish?
definitely, yes, Jack Grealish. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, I
he's
think
definitely not impressed in a City shirt at the moment. So what are your thoughts on him?
look, to be honest, I've seen him playing for Aston Villa and City both. The thing with City is that they are a team of superstars who can cover more ground than the Aston Villa players, right? You see the players play really freely, so that gives Jack Grealish a little lesser space than usual to operate in. So he usually goes into the wider spaces around the far corner, and then he'll try to, do a step over, and he'll try to dribble past the defender. So that's a one out of a two, half a chance that he's got to prove his point. But again, he's missed out on the crucial opportunities. I agree on that. But again, I think he's actually cemented his position in terms of connecting well with the players. So I would actually not. I would partially disagree with that statement because I think next season he would be like any City superstar that there is out there. Jack Grealish has shown his pride in City colours as well. He's um, put in a couple of goals and he's provided a couple of assists as well. So I think in the league games he's been performing really well. But yeah, in the Champions League, I think it also depends on if he's getting the right opportunities or if he is not. We know City has a lot of squad depth, so sometimes he get those opportunities, sometimes he doesn't. So even Riyad Mahrez, which is why he's so underrated, the reason being that he doesn't get to play each and every game. So yeah, I think partially that's because that's the entire reason why I think Jack Grealish is just receiving the flack for not really being able to show what he really is again, because the entire team is uh, very, very star-studded. So
Yeah.
that's
Do
making
you do
his start.
do you think do you think this is City's best starting lineup? Not ever, but like best starting lineup for this season.
Yeah, I think for this season, this would be the best starting lineup. But I don't mind playing Sterling instead of one of these people, because Sterling is also has a massive impact in terms of playing direct football. So
Yeah,
but
Sterling
yeah,
Sterling played today. Like Sterling started, right? So that's what I'm saying. Do you think
right.
like this is the best? This is the best 11 that Pep should be like in a UEFA Champions League final. Like this is the
No, I
time.
think uh, look, this is. I think if you bring in Gundogan maybe into this lineup
Hmm.
also, maybe take out one of the midfielders. Uh, I don't think really it would make a difference. Be it Gundogan, be it Fernandinho, be it Rodri. I think any two of the three would do. So, and at the back, I think, to be honest, I have no problem with John Stones either. Um, be it John Stones, be it Laporte, be it Ruben Diaz. Again, fullbacks also, to be honest, I don't have a problem with any of the fullbacks either. Be it Cancelo, be it Walker, be it Zinchenko, or be it
Zinchenko.
yeah, be it the other the guy. Nathan Ake is a bit of he's overrated, but yeah, I think
Mendy, you're
Zinchenko.
talking about Mendy, but Mendy is not going to play this season.
Mendy don't want to play. He's already. I think he's
Yeah,
doing jail time, right?
yeah, yeah. Now I don't know, like if you're talking about Mendy or someone else.
No, no, no. Mendy is anyways not anywhere near the caliber of Zinchenko. I don't. I rate Zinchenko more than Mendy, to be honest.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
think Joao Cancelo
definitely.
on the left and Kyle Walker on the right do justice to the team. But yeah, I think sometimes when he's playing on the right, Kyle Walker doesn't get his chances in the team at all. So that's also something we should be looking into. But yeah, I think City, you
Yeah,
can rotate them, you can make them, rotate them. You can throw them in the pool, you can throw them in the heat, go throw them in the volcano. They will still be the same City. So there is no molding to the team. They're perfect as they are.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think all the things that I always say about City is just about just coming as a United fan. But like as a football fan, if I look at them, like as a pundit, if I may say, yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're superb to watch, man. Like you can't deny that fact that they are really really good when you watch them play, and how Pep Guardiola has the squad depth and how he plays without a striker there at the top of the league. And then it just it's mind-boggling that he's going to win. Possibly, I think like he will win. I think he will win his second league title without a striker, which is unheard of. Like you need a number nine, and
true,
and they
true.
don't have a number nine. So, I mean now they have, but let's see.
Yeah,
And but he's gonna come from Argentina in the summer, so which is good. I think he's a good, and it's good prospect, Julian Alvarez. I've heard a lot about him. What he's
yeah,
doing at River Plate now, definitely following him a little bit more for the next 4 months to see what he does at River Plate,
yeah.
to just see what he will bring to City. But I think that's about it. What are your just final thoughts on the second leg for Sporting Lisbon and City?
Again, I think City will go in with a weaker lineup because they would want to focus on the league games. Maybe win by 1-0 or 2-0. Maybe they might keep it easy on them just to ensure their players don't get taxed. But it might turn to be 3-1, 4-1 also, depends.
Yeah, yeah.
But
We
for
did we did throw out a stat, right, in the preview, that the last time Sporting Lisbon were in the round 16, they were defeated 12-1 by Bayern Munich. So
Bayern Munich,
5-0
yeah, that's
already,
right.
another 7-1 to go. So
Yeah.
so
So
it
I
might
think
just be.
they might make it 12 also. You never know. They might make it 12. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
But yeah, I think about PSG and Madrid. I think your voice is lapsed. But anyways, I think PSG and Madrid might be a little dicier. I still think Madrid has chances of bouncing back if their head is into the game. But because they're facing PSG, which is very pacey, they can change the game at any time of the match. So I think it will be very difficult for them to have a set tempo. Forget that they'll have a tempo in the game because they're facing PSG. PSG would want a good, a quick retrieval, and they would want a quick transition. They don't give a damn if the opposition has the ball. They know they'll hit on a counter and they will
definitely.
score at least 1 or 2 goals. So I think PSG
Yeah.
should win it idly, but you never know. Madrid might bounce back harder.
Yeah. I think PSG. I think I think Madrid will definitely come back from this game. I still think that Madrid will win the tie. If not, then yeah, I'll be delighted that both of them have been gone out.
Look, to be honest, I think Ancelotti's tactics has rusted out. I mean, if he was such a
Huh?
great manager, he would be playing. He would be, managing Everton really well. But he couldn't manage Everton really well either. So I think his tactics have rusted out since the past 5 6 years. And I think we respect him as a manager. But to be honest, he's just another Van Gaal, in my opinion.
I mean, I would agree and disagree on that, but maybe a topic for another podcast. Um, but yeah, I think that's it from our side for today's podcast. I hope you liked our match reactions and analysis of the two games that happened. We'll definitely be there tomorrow as well once Inter Liverpool. I'm really looking forward to that game as well. And I think there's one more Bayern Salzburg who plays. I'm guessing it's one of them is definitely a high profile game, and the other one is another, I think, City versus Lisbon game, which is going to be between Bayern and Salzburg. But hopefully, it's both of them are really exciting games. We'll definitely
I,
come back tomorrow all around the same time. So do do
I was
uh,
just
do
being
subscribe. Do
I was
do
just being a
subscribe to our
little
channel
lighter
for.
on. I was being a little lighter on Mark the other day. I hope Liverpool beat Inter Milan by 4 or 5 goals, man. I think I'll be the happiest person to see that happening.
That's I really don't think that's gonna be possible. To be honest,
If we
like I
can do
don't
it to
see like Inter
Barcelona, if
Inter
we
are
can do it to
definitely good.
Barcelona, bro, we can do it to Inter also.
You, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's not gonna happen. Yeah, I just don't see.
Well,
Like I think Inter are definitely in a much better shape than what Barcelona were at that 4-0 loss. So
true,
so
true,
yeah, but
true.
let's see. But I was saying, yeah, we're gonna be back with our match reviews and analysis tomorrow as well for the two games that are there. So do subscribe to the channel, to the Late Winner Show, so you know that the video is gonna come out. And do definitely give us that like, helps us with the YouTube algorithm, because YouTube definitely self promotes it. So yeah, hit that
Yeah,
like button. If I can get 10 likes on this, it's good enough for right now. But yeah, if
yeah.
any more likes are definitely appreciated.
Yeah,
uh
guys, keep
Give us
liking
a
it
follow on
and
your
please
give
share
us a
the
follow
video
on
as
our
well.
Instagram.
We create good content and Rishabh does a good job with the content making. So do subscribe and do share the video ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, all right, man. I think that's it from the Late Winner Show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.